You've been involved during the building of UAE's cybersecurity journey.
I remember all the CEOs, they were present with His Highness to launch Dubai Cybersecurity Strategy. It was a hidden message His Highness sent to everyone in the city that cybersecurity is important.
Come 2025, what is happening in the field of cybersecurity?
We are talking about AI, post-quantum readiness guideline, zero trust.
How is the participation of women in cybersecurity?
It is one of the core values. The numbers speak about itself.
In cybersecurity, people are considered the most important as well as the weakest link.
Every ISR officer who will work with the government entities need to be certified. The objective is to make sure that we have the right competencies. We will never stop a technology from being implemented in the city of Dubai. We said, okay, it's a challenge. We are accepting that challenge.
Thank you so much for being part of the GISEC podcast today. Dr. Bushra, you've been involved at a very critical time during the building of UAE's cybersecurity journey. How did you start this journey?
I was with Dubai Electronic Security Center since the beginning, back in 2014. I remember very well when the law came out that there is a cybersecurity agency regulator for the city of Dubai. I was at that time doing my PhD in cybersecurity. I got the job offer in 2014. But I joined Dubai Electronic Security Center in 2016 once I finished my PhD. From that time, I've been involved in many critical strategic projects for the city.
Such as the Dubai Cybersecurity Strategic Project 2017, correct?
Yes, the one that was launched by His Highness to just send one message to the whole city that cybersecurity is also a priority, as other sectors are a priority as well.
Dr. Bushra, I love the fact that you mentioned that CEOs of large organizations are present. Normally, when you think about cybersecurity, many people think it's about the CISOs, right? The CIOs or the CISOs, but the fact that CEOs are now taking it as seriously as possible is a great sign. And I think some companies view cybersecurity as a competitive advantage, especially in Dubai. It becomes so important. What's your take on this, Dr. Bushra?
It was His Highness' decision. It was during Ramadan period. Let's have iftar with His Highness, and then His Highness will take all the CEOs to come to us to launch Dubai Cyber Security Strategy. So it was a hidden message that His Highness sent to everyone in the city that as other sectors are important, cybersecurity is also important, and it shouldn't, let's say, left behind. And I remember also very well, I'm proudly to mention that His Excellency Matar Al-Tahir, the CEO of RTA, he took the booklet, and I remember his team, they called us the next day. His Excellency gave us the booklet and he told us, you have a time frame or you have a deadline in order to embed the objectives of that strategy within RTA, and you need to work hard with the Dubai Electronic Security Center team in order to make sure that those objectives are being met. So it's the leadership vision and the leadership support that made all the objectives of that strategy being, let's say, implemented and empowered the cybersecurity across the different sectors in the city.
Absolutely. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum has always been a visionary. It's great to see his vision implemented all across UAE. But this was back in 2016, Dr. Bushra. The meeting has happened with His Highness. CEOs are taking it very seriously. But when we come to 2025, what is happening in the field of cybersecurity?
Everyone is talking about AI. Maybe in the past few years, we are talking about how AI can enable cybersecurity, how we can implement AI in our cybersecurity day-to-day services that we are providing to the government agencies, how we can make our services more efficient, more effective, and also more reliable. So removing subjectivity in cybersecurity is very important, specifically when it comes to compliance, audit those services. How can AI empower those services? One of the main applications that we launched like 2 years back was Rezam. So Rezam is a software that was proudly developed in Dubai Electronic Security Center, which is empowered by AI. And it provides the users or individuals an alarm if they try to access any infected website. So it's basically a sort of a firewall that will sit between the user and the websites, just to give that alarm or that notion that those websites are infected or those websites are malicious, so the users can avoid, let's say, accessing them. GISEC, the post-quantum readiness guideline. So we are predicting 5 years from now, when the post-quantum computing technology will be affordable, available for everyone, do we have the cryptographic solutions within the government entities or the critical national infrastructure services within the government entities are also ready for the threats that might come from those technologies. So we are preparing our critical national infrastructure for post-quantum computing technologies ahead of time, just to make sure that we are ready for it when it will come in the upcoming few years. Another project is Zero Trust guidelines for the government entities last year. But this year, we are releasing more of detailed guideline on how they can implement Zero Trust, how it can be automated. Again, it's not only about having a policy or a documentation or a standard that sits on our tables as papers, or it's not about checklists that we do.
It needs
but
to be
it's-
implemented actively.
Yeah, exactly. It's about implementation, the impact that it's leaving in the organizations, and also how much we can automate out of that, let's say, standard or policy, just to give that real indication what is the posture of cybersecurity or zero trust on those organizations.
You have a partnership with entities. How are these partnerships effective in driving cybersecurity in UAE?
One of the main pillars in our first strategy that was launched in 2017 is the partnership or national and international collaboration. And that domain also remains in our newly issued strategy in 2024. So we are really keen to keep our partnership with the private sector, with academia, with the national and international organizations, because in cybersecurity, the effective collaboration that you will have, this is what will drive the safe, secure, smart city at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And for that, we actually launched Dubai Cyber Innovation Park from GISEC as well, like 2 or 3 years back. And the objective of the innovation park is to develop public-private partnership with the different private sector in different domains. So we develop public-private partnership for training and upskilling. We have another public-private partnership for certification, exams, tests. We also have public-private partnership with the whole ecosystem. Like you mentioned, Microsoft, AWS, others. We are actually certifying different services that are being provided to the government entities, just to give that assurance to the government entities. Those are the, let's say, approved or accredited services from us in order for the government entities to benefit from, whether it's cloud services, incident responses or services, pen testing services or AI services. All of those technologies are being, let's say, accredited, but we are working also hand in hand with the private sector to make sure that it's not hindering their business, but it's adding value to them whenever they get the certificate from DISC.
Certifications are very, very important, especially in the field of cybersecurity, where there's a huge shortage of talent, right? There are millions of workforce which still needs to come into this space. And Dr. Bushra, I have to say this, right? I worked in the field of cybersecurity before, and there are a lot of more men in this field than there are women out there, right? And I'm so glad that you as a leader are taking the forefront in this. How can more women enter this field, Dr. Bushra? What are some resources available to them, or some initiatives that the UAE has taken to enhance the participation of women in cybersecurity?
Women empowerment is one of the core values of UAE, not only in cybersecurity. I've been asked this question in many international organizations and conferences I'm participating in. I don't think we need to empower women in cybersecurity specifically, because the numbers speak about itself. So we have 70 or 80% of the graduates from the universities in STEM, which are science and technology and engineering. They are actually female students,
amazing.
not male students. So those numbers are really, let's say, positive, and it shows that we are in the right track in UAE with the leadership vision that started, I would say, 40 or 50 years back. Her Highness, the mother of UAE, Sheikha Fatma, has launched many initiatives that empowered women, not from today, but 40 or 50 years back. So, and that impacted women involvement in technology, women involvement in cybersecurity, women involvement in engineering. So I don't think we have any issues with, let's say, gender balancing specifically in STEM areas.
Dr. Bushra, for someone who's new to this field, right? They don't understand what the concept of cyber governance means. Can you elaborate more? Because that is one of the fields that you're actively involved. What is cyber governance exactly?
In cybersecurity, because many people, they are looking to us as hackers, working day and night on those computers, trying to hack the infrastructure. It's not the case. In cybersecurity, you have maybe 6 or 7 areas. Cybersecurity governance is one of them, where the cybersecurity professional will work into setting the right policies, standards, processes for the organization. At the end of the day, cybersecurity consists of people, process, and technology. So process is a core part of, let's say, the three pillars. How we should set the right governance and make sure that those policies, procedures are being followed by the organizations. So we have our standard for cybersecurity called Information Security Regulation that was also issued in 2014. The objective of ISR is to set the governance framework for cybersecurity in the organizations. And one of the main requirements in ISR is to have an ISR officer that reports to the top management. So it's about empowering the ISR officer or the person who's working in governance in order to do what he's supposed to do, in order to set the policies, in order to set the regulations, to work with the IT department, make sure that the digital infrastructure is being secured in the right way. And that person usually shouldn't be under IT. And this is one of the requirements that we have in ISR. So if anyone is interested to work in ISR governance or as an ISR officer, this is how we set, let's say, the responsibilities and the structure of the ISR officer, that he should report to the top management, should be far away from IT, and he should monitor the overall, let's say, security posture of the organization in general, far away, as I said, from IT department.
I love the fact that you said it's a combination of people, processes, and technology, right? And I was, before this interview, I was seeing another interview where you highlighted the importance of people and cybersecurity. And in cybersecurity, people are considered the most important as well as the weakest link, because most of the attacks often happen through people, right? I want to know your take on this, Dr. Bushra, on people when it comes to cybersecurity.
There are two elements when it comes to people. It's how we should empower the cybersecurity professionals themselves. So the cybersecurity officer or the CISO or the cybersecurity team, they are not, let's say, empowered with the right skills and right competencies. I don't think that organization will succeed, because they will always lack of the resources with the right competencies. So whenever there is an incident or there is new emerging technologies, those people will not be the right people to handle the organization's, let's say, digital services security. One of the main things that we launched also in this year in GISEC is the certification of the ISR officers or the CISOs in Dubai government. And that certification will be mandated according to our new law that was also just issued in 2024. So in the new law, we are saying that each and every ISR officer who will work with the government entities, they need to be certified from DISC. The objective or the main objective from that is to make sure that we have the right competencies, the right skills on the people who are securing, let's say, those government organizations. At the end of the day, we have layer-based approach of governance in Dubai. So it's not only DISC who's securing the whole infrastructure.
Absolutely.
It's DISC working with the government entities, working with the private sector to make sure that those organizations are being secured in the right way. So the first part is about the cybersecurity professionals themselves. The second part are the individuals themselves, whether they are employees, whether they are customers of our government services, how we should empower them with the right knowledge, with the right experience. And for that also, we launched many initiatives on our social media. We have many initiatives with the government entities, how we should empower the individuals and the employees working the government entities with the right knowledge, with the right skill set that will avoid them, let's say, being the weakest link in cybersecurity equation, I would say.
Dubai Electronic Security Center. This takes care of the digital infrastructure of Dubai, right? But the UAE is made up of 7 Emirates. There is Abu Dhabi, there's Ras Al Khaimah, Queen, etc. Do all these Emirates collaborate with each other? Is there information sharing which happens?
UAE Cybersecurity Council is actually looking after the federal entities and the other entities where there are no cybersecurity regulator yet on them. And we have, in the Cybersecurity Council, there are members from each and every emirate, and they usually meet on a monthly basis. And there are also committees, subcommittees working on awareness, policies, and other stuff. And we always have that, let's say, alignment between us, just to make sure that all the other emirates are also being empowered the same way as Dubai being empowered since 2014. So the alignment is there. The council has been established. The members or the director generals of each regulator. They are already members in that council, and we are working collaboratively to make sure at the end of the day, the information being secured in Dubai, it's also being secured in Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, and other Emirates.
There are a lot of best practices of cybersecurity happening here in Dubai that's been adopted by United States. Normally, when we hear of things coming from the United States to the two other regions of the world, but it gave me immense, I felt so proud as a Dubai resident that there are many practices of Dubai being adopted by other nations. Can you talk to us about such practices?
Proudly, I'm an official UAE member in the World Economic Forum, and I'm also the chair of the World Bank. And this is where exactly seeing those impact when we are talking about the initiatives that we have in UAE and talking about the initiatives that we have in Dubai specifically. Most of the initiatives that we have in cybersecurity in Dubai has been actually recognized in the World Economic Forum reports. Some of those reports were launched in Davos. Others were launched in G20 presidency meetings, the one that happened in India and the one that happened in Brazil. So we have real use cases from Dubai that has been adopted by other countries and other nations. And usually we've been called by those organizations in order to share our experience with other countries, what we achieved today, and the source of our success is the vision that we have from our leadership. If something doesn't go or doesn't move according to the leadership vision, there are strict actions that those leadership will take in order to make sure that we are in the right track and we are achieving what we are saying. So it's not only about setting objectives, setting targets, but it's how much did you achieve out of those objectives and targets.
A lot of other cities are looking up to Dubai and to be number one in cybersecurity, like how Dubai is. What are 3 things that Dubai is doing that other cities can start implementing right away?
I would say the first thing is the empowerment from the leadership. Today, we developed Dubai Cyber Index that was launched by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, the conference of Dubai in 2019. He gathered all the CEOs of Dubai government entities, again, CEOs, not CISOs, and he showed them the index dashboard that he has, which shows the real, let's say, live cybersecurity posture of those organizations. And he gave a clear direction that within few months, I want all of you to connect with the national SOC that the desk developed. And I would personally follow up on those maturity assessments and make sure that each one of you is in the green, because the way we develop the index, it's like red, yellow, green. So it's similar to the happiness meter, I would say, that everyone can understand it. So, and he gave that clear instruction. First of all, you need to integrate, then you need to be in the green zone, not in the red zone. So the first thing is the leadership empowerment and the leadership support. It's very important.
What's the second thing?
The second thing is to empower the organizations. We are talking about a cybersecurity regulator. Then we need to empower the organizations under us. It shouldn't be a centralized approach. It should be a decentralized approach. Each organization should take care of their own cybersecurity posture. So similar like how we are securing our houses, right? Each one of us as individuals, we are responsible to securing our kids, our houses. Then the same concept with the organizations. We need to make sure that each organization is being empowered. They have the right skill set, they have the right policies, they have the right procedures, they have the right SOC that can connect with a centralized SOC. So focus on decentralization, empower your organizations, empower the critical national infrastructure, define who are those critical sectors that you want to secure. At the end of the day, you cannot secure everyone. So once you define who is important, what is important, just empower them, make sure that they have the right capabilities to secure that sector.
Okay, and number 3?
Number 3, make sure that ecosystem work holistically. You need to work with the private sector. Make sure that those sectors you defined as critical, like the power sector, the tourism sector, the transportation sector, they work collaboratively together. If something
like
goes...
private partnership.
Exactly.
Properly.
If something goes down with the power sector, how the transportation sector will react. Develop those resilience plans and practice them. Don't just develop plans, keep them aside. Just make sure that you are practicing those plans on at least a yearly basis. Make sure those sectors are talking to each other. And make sure you as a regulator, you are empowering them, but you are not taking their role.
In your position, you're deploying a lot of initiatives, right? Is there been some piece of technology that gave you chills that, okay, maybe I should not be deploying this technology right now? Though the world may be talking about it, but I need to take precautions before it's being deployed for the cybersecurity of Dubai.
One of the key success factors also for us in Dubai is we are dealing with cybersecurity as an enabler for those technologies. Don't deploy this emerging tech. Just wait. Let us do our homework first. A great example of that was the autonomous vehicle. When the strategy of autonomous vehicle was announced in the city of Dubai back in 2017, at that time, nothing exists even globally how autonomous vehicle security controls should be deployed. What are the kind of testing that should be implemented? We said, okay, it's a challenge. We are accepting that challenge. And we will not tell RTA or we will not tell the transportation department, wait till we finish our security guideline. We came up with minimum security requirements for autonomous vehicle to work in the city. Then we updated that to be a policy. Then we worked hard with RTA in order to set the law of autonomous vehicles and then to set the resolution of autonomous vehicles. So we are working in a gradual manner just to make sure, okay, we have the emerging technologies, but at least cybersecurity postures are being considered, but we will never stop a technology from being, let's say, implemented or adopted in the city of Dubai.
GISEC and DESC have had a long-standing partnership. How has this partnership evolved in 2025 as we speak, in your experience?
I'm really proud to see how GISEC evolved from the time I joined DESC in 2016 till today. On a yearly basis, we are noticing how the exhibition is really getting bigger and bigger. Many countries are participating, not only from the region, but also from outside the region. I hope that also it can grow globally, similar to GITEX. So I hope that we will have a GISEC version in other regions and other countries, like how GITEX is also growing. But we are really proud with that partnership with GISEC. We are really proud how the cybersecurity community is growing in this city and in this region. And we are here for any further support that will transfer GISEC to the next level where we can have maybe international GISEC versions in other countries.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bushra. This has been an honor. Thank you for being part of the podcast.
It's a pleasure.